Hi, it's Kamon Reynolds. Let's continue our package versus nuke challenge by doing some requeening. I was really not planning on requeening to this extent, but it's got to happen. If you watched our last package side of the package versus nuke challenge video, and you're fixing to see, this colony is abysmal. This should not be. The queen was raised this year, so she should be young and good. They had 3 pounds of bees just like these other two, but this one went completely queenless on its own. But if you watch that video, we added 2 frames of brood from this one over here to kind of help give them some nurse bees to help balance the colony back out, because if your bees are old, it's very, very hard to requeen them. A lot of times they won't accept the queen, and that's why it's nice to have extra colonies. If things get a little interesting, you can share brood. And one of the things that we did with this one, we're going to be checking them. We didn't do it in the video, but we took one of our mated queens and we stuck it in there, and she hasn't even been released yet. We basically took a cage like this with some queen candy. I'll be giving you all the directions on that shortly. And then I put a plug on the end of it to where they couldn't chew through it. And then after 5 days, I'm going to lightly go in just with a little bit of smoke, remove that cork, and then they're going to be able to chew through. This gives them more time to get used to it. It also allows the 2 frames of brood that we brought from that colony there over here to hatch out. And you get developed, and they just kind of get used to it and all that kind of stuff. So we'll check on that one later. Hopefully that'll fix that one. We're leaving this one, the better of the 3 packages, with the Italian queen that we got in the package. And then this one right here is just abysmal. So we're going to be taking a frame of brood from this colony again. Thank goodness for these 2 healthy colonies over here. If we had just done the package challenge, it would have been really disappointing. I really didn't think this was going to happen to this extent. I knew there was going to be a separation, but wow. Alright, so we are taking this frame right here because there's some capped brood on it, but a lot of it's already hatched out. And so this is going to be a perfect frame for us, because we're going to be introducing this queen with a different cage, and this is just called like a push-in cage kind of dealio, and I'll show you. But basically you push it into the frame and it allows her to lay. You put her over some honey, you put her over some young brood, well, brood that's old, that's hatching out young bees, and so they hatch out and they see her and they're like, oh my goodness, it's the queen. And they take care of her. The more bees she has getting around her and spreading her pheromone around, the more she's going to be accepted and the better the transition is going to be. Let's get into this little hive here. Alright, we're just going to cut straight down to the bottom. We got to find the original queen and take care of her. And I don't like having to dispatch queens, but if you don't and you need to, then you are going to lose that hive many times, or you just won't get anything out of them. So let's see if we can find her. She's unmarked, so that'll make it a little bit more interesting. There's just not a lot of bees in this hive. Okay. Terrible pattern, not a whole lot of bees, and they've received the same treatment as every other colony. We want all of these to be successful. That is our goal. But this queen just will never make a successful colony, so we're going to have to do something about it. Alright, so I'm seeing some eggs on this frame. Doesn't mean a whole lot because eggs don't hatch out larvae until 3.5 days. But she's been on this frame within that time period. And chances are, you know, we're not at the 3.5 day point, so that probably means she's somewhere in this area or a little above her. But you know, I've seen some queens that had some eggs on one side of the hive, and you get over there looking around for her and you find her on the total opposite side of the hive. Alright. Not seeing her on that one. seeing if there's any brood. She might be in that upper box. Not seeing any eggs over here. Might be going the wrong way. Notice how we're only giving smoke really on the top parts of the frame. That really helps in a lot of ways. It helps especially when finding the queen. Well, this has got a lot of weight in it, so a lot of food over here. That's what they've been doing with all the feed I've been giving them. They haven't been turning into brood, that's for sure. Alright, she's not over here. If she is, goodness gracious, what a bad queen. There's nowhere to lay. Okay, let's we don't really want to push a lot of smoke down in that frame and make that queen run around. She might anyways, but now there's a couple different ways of taking care of the queen. I like to get it to where she's up against some wood or something. That way I can crush her quickly. What is kind of referred to sometimes jokingly as the hive tool test. See if she can survive it, which is not the case. But I like to make sure I do a good job and get it over with quick. I think she's going to be over here. It looks like there's a lot of nurse bees on these frames. Okay, there's eggs. See how they're running around like that? I don't like that. The colony's not healthy and thriving and balanced in a lot of ways. Shouldn't be running around like that, especially with as little smoke as I've been using. This frame over here looks like there's brood in it. Maybe she's over here. Whoa, lots of bee bread. My goodness. Look at all that bee bread down in there. Where's the brood? So we've had 2 frames over here that have had honey in them and all this bee bread, and we're not getting any brood. Hang on just one second. We've been hit. Laurel, you're the best. Alright, let's see if we can find that queen. But we got all this bee bread. We've got all that honey. Where's the brood? Where is the brood? We're probably going to end up going to that top box, but we're already here. So let's go ahead and just look at this. Make sure she's not here. Yep, there she is. There she is. What a shame. There's tons of bee bread over here too. She's probably laying a bunch of eggs, but they're just cannibalizing them because they're probably no good. I don't know what's wrong. You look at that queen, you're thinking, yeah, that's a pretty good sized queen. They haven't superseded her. Whatever the reason, she's just not a good one. And this is the hive tool test, folks. And she's totally dead right there. There's not a bit of twitching. It's as humane as you can do it. As unfortunate as it is, that this colony is on the ropes. There's hardly any brood. It's I don't know what's wrong with some of these commercial queens, but whatever it is, they need to fix it. They're not going to, as long as people are buying them, and they are. So, alright, let's get our queen. Hopefully she's going to turn some things around for us. Now we are going to take this frame right here, and we're even going to give them this because the queen's not in here. I already checked. There's a lot of young fuzzy bees that have been hatching out, which is perfect for what we need. This colony needs some nurse bees. We're going to shake them in. There's no fighting going on down in there. They're nurse bees. I don't see any fighting. Alright, see, you got this one hatching out right here. So what we want to do is place this cage in a place that's going to give us some of these bees to assist her, but also give her some food. I'm not seeing a ton in the way of food, and we can remedy that. Alright, so what we're going to do is we got some honey right here. We'll take that. Now let's go to the other side. Alright, so we got brood hatching out here. Now, after a little bit, they're going to feed her through this cage. It won't take long at all, but you definitely want to have a little bit of food down in here to make sure that she is fed. Alright, a lot of bee bread on this frame too. That is great. Alright, so now this came from Kelly's. We've got this little plug right here, and you use that initially, of course, to keep her from getting out. And we're also going to be using it to install her. But then if you want to introduce her even slower, what you can do is put this on, let her hatch, start doing her thing. Ow! Man! Alright, they got me right there, so we're going to rake that out. Just take this tool and there we go. You gotta pull it out against that way. There's that bee, I think. Ow! Now, did I crush that bee, Laurel?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if I crushed the bee. Sometimes when they sting me, I crush them. They're going to die anyways. It takes a little while, but they die slowly because part of their guts goes with the stinger. So, for one, I don't like them going around and running around and bumping on me and spreading alarm pheromone. They're dead anyways, so sometimes I pinch their head. Some people think it's inhumane. Have you ever studied bees before and see what they do to each other? That's what I've got to say. I think there's got to be a balance to it. We've got to use our brains, but at the same time we can take a lesson from the bee every now and then. Alright, so now we've got this over the honey. We're going to have this over these bees that are hatching out that are just going to love her to death. And, oh, I've got to get out these little things. But this comes from Walter T. Kelly. I guess this whole section just comes off right here. And we got our little stakes. Yeesh, we got them on there good. Alright, but what you can do, if you come back in later, you can pull this out, put a little bit of queen candy in there, we'll show you how to make that, and then you can release her through that. Alright, so we are going to get all these bees out of here. That one's a nice fuzzy one, that one would be okay. And probably all of these bees would be okay. We're going to get all these bees out of the way. Alright, get out of there. Alright. And now we are going to put these stakes in. Ow. The bees are not in a good mood, so there's been several people comment that I never get stung. That is not the case. This is a bad time of day to be doing this, and there's nothing to forage. We could not post this video, but we are going to. I don't think that's the right way to do that. Oh well. I typically don't use these things anyways. Someone's going to watch this video like, you know, that's not the right way to do that, Kamon. Alright. That last one really stung. No pun intended. Right next to the cuticle. Alright, so we got our queen here. And now if we can just get her to go out that way. Alright. There we go. She's down in there. And we've got this right there. And we're just going to stick this right here in the center. And we're just going to let them slowly get used to her, take care of her. And also realize that the other queen is gone. It takes a little bit. We've got to give one of these frames back to that colony. But okay, basically, we're going to go ahead and cut the video because there's not a whole lot to talk about. But what we're going to do is just take one of these frames that doesn't have a lot on it. We're going to give it back to that colony for what we took. Put that one back together. We're going to put all these together. And then I'm also going to be giving this colony a little bit of sugar syrup feed. Not much because they don't need a lot. I'm not going to be giving them any protein because they're not raising a ton of brood right now. But I am going to be giving them sugar syrup. No essential oils. One of the reasons why I don't use essential oils a lot of times is just because they're expensive, but I don't want anything covering up the smell of her pheromone. And essential oils can be very strong. So I'm not going to be using anything in my feed, and I recommend during introductions that you probably not use essential oils because we want them solely focused on her pheromone alone. So anyways, give them just a tiny bit of feed. Feed helps them introduce better and all that kind of stuff, and then hopefully this is going to help our colony rebound with a brand new Kathleen Reynolds queen. And hey, I got stung twice in this video. Laurel got stung once. So for those of you who say we never get stung, ha! I wish you were right. Thanks for watching our videos.